This quotient rule is uh, essentially just a rearrangement of the product rule. So what we can say is this: if we have the original function f is equal to f over g, what we can do is we can actually rearrange this into big F times g. So I'm just gonna maybe highlight this. So here's my f, here's my g function. So we can just say there's my g function times my big F equals my little f function. Okay, and these are equivalent expressions. And really what I want is I want f prime, big F prime. But I can differentiate this because I have the product rule. So I can apply the product rule. So the derivative of that f prime is going to be, big F times g, and, big F prime times g plus big F times g prime. Okay, so those are all the pieces there. Okay, this is just a product rule here. So once I've applied the product rule, well, that's great. I've actually generated the derivative I wanted, big F prime. That's my derivative of this quotient. So I just need to rearrange this expression for big F prime. So I move the big F times g prime to the other side, and notice that I'm starting to get something that's starting to look like the quotient rules. I got that minus in there. I'm going to take that f prime. I need to solve for it, so I need to divide by g. So I have g. Now notice that the g ends up in the denominator here. So I end up with 1 over g times f prime minus big F times g prime. My quotient rule is all just f, right? F and g, small f and small g. So I need to get rid of that big F in my derivative. And I can do that because I've already defined my big F over here. So if I replace the big F with f of x over g of x, so notice that is just that replacement. And there I have an expression. I just need to make this a common denominator so I can add these two pieces together. Okay, so I get a common denominator of g, and well, here I actually just multiplied out the 1 over g. Now I'm going to get a common denominator here, so I got a common denominator by multiplying top and bottom by g of x. So I got my common denominator of g of x squared, and notice that now I've generated my quotient rule. F prime times g minus f times g prime all over g of x squared. So there is just proof of my quotient rule. And like I said, this is really just all it is, really is just a rearrangement of the product rule, because I just started with a quotient, made it into a product, differentiated this product, and solved for the piece I wanted, which was this f prime piece that I generated when I applied the product rule.